Los Angeles, more than a year after President Trump officially ended migrant family separations at the southern border, immigration authorities continue to routinely separate families for reasons as minor as a parent not changing a baby's diaper or having a traffic citation for driving without a license, according to new documents filed Tuesday in federal court. More than 900 children have been removed from an adult, usually a parent, with whom they arrived at the southern border since June of 2018, according to tallies provided by the Department of Justice to the American Civil Liberties Union, which is challenging the separations. The administration is still doing family separation under the guise that they are protecting children from their own parents, even though the criminal history they are citing is either wrong or shockingly minor, said Lee Gallant, with the ACLU's Immigrants' Rights Project. This is just circumventing the court's order. The new numbers were filed with Judge Dana M. Sabrov in San Diego as part of the court's continuing supervision of the family separation issue. In its motion on Tuesday, the civil rights group asked the judge to clarify a set of standards for such separations that would ensure that children are taken from their parents only when there is evidence that the parent is a genuine danger to the child, or is unfit to provide care. Family separations began occurring in large numbers in the spring of 2018 under the Trump administration's zero-tolerance border enforcement policy, which called for nearly all adults who entered the country illegally to face criminal prosecution. Any children accompanying them were placed in shelters or foster care. Migrant families often ended up hundreds or thousands of miles apart for weeks or longer. After Mr. Trump terminated the policy and Judge Sabrov issued an order to reunify all separated families, cases of separations dropped precipitously. But they have recently been climbing rapidly, Mr. Gallant said, with a total of 911 separations over the past year. The latest separations are mainly based on crimes committed by the parent, according to the new documents, but ACLU lawyers argue that many of the violations are as minor as traffic tickets. Right now, the government can separate based on any criminal history, regardless of the severity, and based on subjective criteria, Mr. Gallant said. We want them only separating in specific circumstances. Suit earlier this year, and, most recently, became embroiled in a Twitter feud between Rapinoe and President Trump in the middle of this summer's World Cup. Ellis navigated it all by using the same methods that made her an effective coach. She stayed out of the fray, expressing support for her players at all times while avoiding antagonizing her bosses at the federation. In many ways, her tactics in brushing aside distractions mirrored her coaching style. She took criticisms of the team's failings, notably a humiliating quarterfinal exit from the 2016 Olympics, upon herself, and gave her veteran players a wide berth to express their views and their personalities. The players rewarded her trust, and her loyalty to them, with excellence. I am really fortunate to have an incredibly professional group of women, Ellis had said on the eve of the World Cup when she was asked if the team's fights with the federation had placed her in an awkward position as a federation employee. The players understand that we support them, that we have their backs on and off the field, and we have to be this way. It's just natural when you come together and go off to try to accomplish something incredibly huge. Ellis has served as national team coach since 2014, but her association with the program goes back nearly 2 decades. A scout during her days as a college coach at stops from North Carolina State to UCLA, where her teams reached 8 consecutive NCAA Final Fours, she was an assistant coach when the United States won a gold medal at the 2008 Beijing Olympics. Elisa's current tenure as United States coach is technically her second stint in charge of the team. She served briefly as interim coach after Pia Sundhage stepped down in the wake of another Olympic title in London in 2012. Ellis was passed over for the full-time position by U.S. Soccer, however, when the federation chose Tom Sermanni, a Scot, as Sundhage's permanent replacement. But Ellis did not go far, and when the players on the team at the time bristled at playing for Sermanni, leading to his firing, Ellis was returned to the top job. It is unclear who will replace Ellis. Her top assistant, Tony Gustafsson, recently left the program, perhaps the best signal that Ellis might be on her way out, too. U.S. Soccer said it first would fill the vacant Women's national team general manager role, and that the new GM would lead the search for a new coach. But time is short. The United States will be the favorite at the 2020 Tokyo Olympics next summer, but first it will have to qualify. That tournament will take place early next year.